Good morning, YouTube. Matt and Roy back once again. Or I should probably say good afternoon, because it's officially 12:07 right now. This is Sunday, June something, 2022. I've actually not been paying attention to the days. When you work from home and work like I do, they kind of all roll together. Well, I wasn't necessarily going to do a vlog today, but I have something special happening. I have recently been looking for another vehicle, something not necessarily to replace the Tahoe, but something maybe to replace the van. I do enjoy my van, but it just does not have the power that I'm used to. So I am currently looking at a 1997 GMC Suburban blue color. We're talking about like a dark, almost like a royal blue. And the really cool thing is the guy has said he's going to bring it by here. That way I could take a look at it. I guess he was going to be down this way anyway. So we'll see if I wind up buying it or not. I hate doing that because I feel guilty if I wind up not buying it because he drove it all the way down here. I was trying to get him to show me some pictures of the interior. The exterior looks good, but he had no interior pictures. And you know, how can I make a deal off of not seeing the interior of the vehicle? So, hey, if he's willing to bring it down here and it's not everything he says it is, I'm not going to buy it. So we'll see what happens. I'm watching one of these dead mall videos right now. These things have really got me interested. Where is it? Boom, 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 right there. But other than that, everything else seems to be going pretty good. I will talk to everybody later, and I'll keep you updated and let you know if I am going to buy the vehicle or not. Talk to you in a little bit. All right, everybody, so here's the van, and this is what I got done on it recently. The other day, I'm going to wipe it down here a little bit. I actually had them paint the hood, and I wanted to see how well it came out. It was really wet the other day, so I really couldn't get a good idea of how good a job they did. Whoop. And look at me, I just dropped that. Didn't mean to do that. Now, I know they did the fender and the hood, because the hood was really fading. It was getting bad. I mean, really bad. And it looks like they had a little bit of overspray right there. Have to get some turpentine or something to get that off later. But it looks like they did a pretty darn good job here, I have to say. You know, it's near perfect, and they did the hood and both fenders, he said, I think down to here, and he was even able to get rid of a lot of the scuffs and stuff that were on here. There were a lot of scuffs and things on the paint there. Actually, I'd say that's a sticker. He was able to get most of that off, so that was really good. Everything else on the van is actually in really good shape. So, been very impressed with the way this new shop is doing with the paint work. So now on the van, I've had the whole dome painted, back door, as you can see here, and then the hood and the front fenders. And of course it's raining now, so everything's beaded up again. But that's it for now. We'll see what the rest of the day brings. Talk to everybody on the flip side. And while I'm here, thought I'd give everybody a little cold start. At the very least, we'll do the Tahoe here. Yep, still got the automatic remote. And let me get the right key here. See if she's leaking or not. It's been raining kind of hard. No, I think I finally fixed that leak. So mileage wise, we got 236,000 just turned over. And one thing that I did buy for this, I bought one of these Bluetooth adapters that go into the auxiliary port. So now I have Bluetooth capability here in my Chevy Tahoe, something I've been wanting for a good long while. So let's go ahead and start her up. Check gauges, of course. Will she fire up? I don't know. Let's give it a try. Oh, yeah. You can rely on your GMT 400s. Hopefully I can rely on this one that I might be buying. Clean the windows off. Got a little bit of a sagging headliner now. That's really only in the rain though. Once it stops raining and there's no moisture, it kind of tacks itself up. I did purchase new visors for this. I say new, they're from the junkyard and they were missing the mirrors, but I went ahead and put my own mirror in there. Hi. And yeah, she's running pretty good. She runs a little high idle when it's cold, but that's just because of the aftermarket Flowmasters I have. Since I have the Flowmaster exhaust on here, I can't use the regular O2 sensors. So those are disconnected and it kind of plays a little havoc with the idle at first. But once you put it in gear, she goes down just fine. Woo! Couple of revs. Woo. Gotta love it. Alright folks, that's it for now. Talk to you guys a little bit later. And why not? Since I'm outside, might as well do a cold start on the van. When I say cold start, of course, it's name only because it's actually pretty warm, but they haven't been started yet today. Van now currently has 132,569 miles. Have this new head unit that I put in here from Walmart. Not a great unit, but gets the job done. I kind of butchered that a little bit when I put it in, but it works. It's in there. Whoop. Turn that down. And let's go ahead and start her up. Oh, yeah. She runs like a top. No lights on the dash. I did have one problem with this van though that I want to show you guys real quick. For a while, after I would start it, it would stall every once in a while, especially if I was going from like reverse to drive or drive to reverse. And then if I went to start it again, she would stall out like that. So I'll show you what the problem was. Okay, so looking under the hood, if you see, this has a very unique air box. It actually has what I would consider is more like a cold air intake. This basically, you're getting the air from here, goes through here where there's a filter, and then goes right into the intake. Well, this is the bracket that holds the two pieces together where you put the filter in. What had actually happened was the old bracket had broken on the bottom, and there was a huge gap right underneath here where you can't really see very well. If you look on the right side there was a huge gap that was letting air in, and it was driving the MAV sensor crazy. So I finally got that addressed. I went and bought a new clip at O'Reilly's. Shout out to O'Reilly's for actually having this part in. This is why I'm not a big Ford fan. I don't know why they had to go with this type of air box. The one I have on the GMC does have clips, but it's an actual box. It just closes, and you got one clip on one side, one clip on the other. This one, you have to fish around the entire height there, and it just causes so much trouble. Even this one was hard to get on. I was lucky to get that on at all. But that's about what I've been doing with the van. I did do a coolant flush on it the other day because the coolant was really nasty in here. If you can see now, it looks a lot better. It's hard to tell with my phone's camera, but I can assure you that it's much cleaner than it was. There was like a whole bunch of, I don't think it was stop leak, but I think somebody mixed the pink and the green coolant. So you can actually see some of the corrosion from the pink coolant. That's why I don't like using that. I was able to scrub most of that out of the bottle, but some of it still did stain. So unfortunately, I couldn't get that totally clean. Might as well check the fluids while I'm here. What the heck that was? Brake fluid looks good. Power steering fluid is a little low. I'm going to have to add a little more power steering fluid to this. Seen a lot of vehicles that I'm not used to seeing. Oh yeah, that's definitely a little low, isn't it? Wait a minute. Full. Yeah, you have to add a little power steering fluid. You know, that's typical for Fords. Now I got my hands all dirty. But I'm going to pause this. I don't want this vlog to get too long. See what the rest of the day brings. Talk to everybody on the flip side. All right, everybody. So it's a little after 4. The guy never showed up, though. He still says he's coming to show me this 1997 GMC Suburban. Dad and I are a little skeptical. The main problem I have with it is it does not have a current inspection, which can be a little iffy. I want to hear his explanation for that, but don't ever let anybody pressure you into buying. Now, I'm sure that him coming down here, it's going to make it a little harder for me to possibly say no, but I may have to say no. It depends on how I like the vehicle, and of course I'm always going to have someone else check it. This is a vehicle that I don't know, and the fact that it doesn't have a current inspection kind of scares me too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look it over really good when he gets here with a fine-tooth comb. I'm going to check the tranny fluid, check the oil, you know, check the suspension, and if I like what I see, then maybe what I'll do is I'll give him like a deposit or something to that effect. We have a couple $100 to hold it, and then tomorrow have him bring over to Dillinger's, and I'm just going to get a state inspection. That way we'll know everything's on the up and up, everything's ready to go, and there won't be any surprises. So kind of a warning and a message to everybody out there: when buying a used vehicle, you know, everybody's got a used vehicle to sell. You can be choosy, and in this market it's very hard because it is kind of a seller's market right now. The people out there right now are the sellers have the upper hand because there's very low stock of new vehicles out there right now. So that means the used vehicles prices are going up and up. So you just want to be a little careful, and of course this is the kind of vehicle I've been looking for a while. You guys know I'm a huge GMT 400 fan. I'm a member of all their Facebook pages and everything, so we'll just have to see how it goes. I'm really hopeful it's as nice of a vehicle as the guy says it is, and we'll see what happens. I'll try to get a little bit of video, but I'm not sure if I can or not. My focus is going to be on looking over this thing with a fine-tooth comb, making sure everything is on the up and up. So we'll see what the rest of the day brings. I'm just taking a little walk outside, even though it's drizzling at the moment. I haven't been able to get my exercise in, so talk to everybody on the flip side. All right, everybody, back in my room. It's about 15 minutes after 5. Unfortunately, it did not work out with that Suburban. Let me fix this light because it's driving me crazy. Things flickering all over the place. So, kind of make a long story short, the guy comes with the Suburban, and right away it looks awesome. Paint job looks good for the most part. It had a little bit of fading, but it was nice looking. So I get in to take it for a test drive. Immediately I get the blinking check engine light, which any of you out there that are mechanically inclined know means active miss. And you could actually feel the miss. Like, I gave it a little bit of gas, you could feel the pa 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 pa. So just to appease him, because the guy was so happy to bring it and show it to me, I took it for a little test drive and went around the neighborhood. Brakes were terrible, almost non-existent. I had to put the brake almost to the floor to get the stupid thing to stop. So I brought it back, and I went and looked underneath, and I'm looking, and I see something pouring out, which I know can't be from the AC because he admitted that the AC wasn't charged, which he didn't say before either. So at this point, I know this guy is really trying to cheat me, basically. So I wasn't really nice at that point. I said, look, I'm just not interested. He's like, oh, I don't understand. I had my mechanic do all the engine work. I'm like, your mechanic did the engine work, and he gave you a vehicle that runs like this? He's like, well, yeah. I'm like, dude, you need to go back to your mechanic because your mechanic cheated you. I mean, it ran that bad. I was actually surprised. He came over from Hampton, which is about a 20 or so minute, 30-minute drive. I'm surprised it made it that far because when I reached underneath and felt what was leaking out that much, it was oil. I mean, this thing had an active oil leak. Probably why he told me he had to stop the 7-Eleven before he came. He probably had to fill the thing up with oil. So one of two things. Either he's a total liar, which I'm probably thinking that's the case, or he's really that stupid and his mechanic just took him for heaven knows how much money. But unfortunately, that vehicle did not work out. And that's why you have to be so careful. When you're buying used vehicles, you need to check them out thoroughly. Luckily, this one was throwing up all kinds of red flags. I can't believe he didn't even admit the AC didn't work. So it is what it is. Am I disappointed? Heck yeah, because it was really a nice looking vehicle. If it ran as good as it looked, I would have bought it spot on. But we'll keep looking. I'm sure I'll be able to find something that will suit my needs. Still looking for a Suburban-sized vehicle, so a Chevy Suburban, GMC Suburban, Yukon XL, ideally a Yukon XL Denali, but, you know, I'm not holding my breath. That was a real lucky break when I got mine last time, that I was blessed to have that for, what was that, about a year or two. So I'm going to end the vlog here. I really don't have anything else to talk about tonight. Maybe I'll try to upload this now if I get the motivation. Please continue to like and subscribe. And as always, have a blessed day, everybody.